Today, we become legends.
Today's Titan Talk has some big news about the God release schedule and reveals for the next 5 gods coming after Barry, as well as some other details and questions, so let's jump right in. So first up, the gods. Barry will be releasing March 10th, and after that they're moving to a god every 2 weeks instead of a god every week. They still plan to do a 2-week patch cycle with other content in every update, like new items, new aspects, balance, all that stuff. But from Barry forwards, we will just get the launch god of the update. No mid-patch god release, unfortunately. But if you've been keeping up with the news, this shouldn't be too surprising. The 1 god a week plan was based on the previous staffing numbers, and it's just not maintainable anymore without ignoring every other aspect of the game that needs work. Personally, I'm fine with this, as I think we have enough gods now to provide solid variety in each match, which was the bigger issue compared to certain people's favorite gods being added. I'd much rather see a god every 2 weeks and allow them to focus on other areas of the game as well, compared to a god a week and neglecting everything else like aspects, conquest updates, an assault map, new items, all that stuff. In terms of the gods themselves though, we got Merlin, Cerberus, Kali, Guan Yu, and Apollo revealed, who are coming to the game in that order for the next 5 patches after Barry, who we'll get a kit reveal for on Monday. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel already, I'll be covering her kit as soon as it drops, so hit that button so you don't miss it. Merlin is coming over basically unchanged in visuals aside from the standard quality upgrade we've come to expect from ported gods. They did mention Merlin takes a bit of extra work compared to a typical god due to his different stances all having varied visual effects. Cerberus got the typical upgrades as well as some tweaks to his heads to make him look more dog-like. This was another one that takes more time to port than you'd expect, mostly due to rigging, as all his heads have unique tech to make them face the correct way and interact with his abilities. Kali got some slightly more major model changes, with some elements of her original design that's more lore accurate, making it into the Smite 2 version. She has reduced armor in a lot of areas, no more high-heeled boots, instead being barefoot. She has a necklace of skulls now as well, which is a lore reference. They also mentioned potentially making her tongue stick out like in her lore, but only on the card art, as doing that in the 3D model will be a rigging nightmare. Also, potentially making the incense skull-shaped could give a nod to the head she holds in her lore. Kali just generally had a pass to bring her to a middle ground between her original, more lore-accurate design and her newer one. Guan Yu got a full model update to his horse, which apparently looked very dated in Smite 1. In terms of his actual model, he mostly just got quality updates, but I gotta say, he looks real good here. They also mentioned they're taking the feedback of this Guan down not looking sharp enough, and they're going to work on that for release. And finally, Apollo also didn't get any major model changes, just quality updates, as this is a much more recent model from 2019 compared to some others like Guan or Kali that are much older. All 5 of these revealed gods were part of the leaked models that happened on February 10th, so skip to this time in the video if you want to avoid spoilers and data mining about the rest of this leak. I'll give you a few seconds. So yeah, these upcoming gods are all from the leak list, which means the rest of the leaked gods are pretty likely to come as the next ones after the brand new god release, which seems likely to be Hasta based on data mining. The remaining gods from the leak are Scylla, King Arthur, Ratatoska, Horus, and Sun Wukong, so I would highly expect these 5 to be released in the 10 weeks following God 135's release, though this is still just data mining and speculation. It is possible they have other plans. But let's move on from gods and talk about the other stuff revealed on the talk and the Q&A section. Music packs and team boosters will be launching with Barry in OB5 on March 10th. The new Wandering Market collection is set to launch in OB7 alongside Cerberus on April 7th. This is consistent with the 8-week Wandering Market patch cycle that they gave us, so the next one after this should be in OB11, the launch patch of God 135. They also plan to do new aspects or new items as the mid-patch update now in place of a new ported god that we were getting before. They also still plan to mostly release all of the skins for each patch on the launch day, since as mentioned previously, it helps with sales as people will see a new update and check for new skins, whereas releasing the mid-patch cycle means they can get lost a little bit and people don't know they're there. Someone asked about crossover events, and they said of course they're still open to doing those, but it might be a little bit down the line due to other art priorities right now. They also mentioned it would be harder to do crossovers in Smite 2 at the moment due to the smaller god roster, as they might struggle to find a good fit for a certain character within the gods available, whereas Smite's 130 gods are far more likely to have one that fits a certain pop culture character very well. Someone asked for more lore accurate skins that make sense in the world of Smite and less pop culture or silly skins, and they basically said they make more of the skins that sell well, and pop culture or silly skins like Hot Sauce Poseidon tend to sell better than rigidly lore accurate skins. Someone mentioned Kepri 2 only shredding physical protections, and they said that is intended as they want certain gods to have certain strengths and weaknesses and not just do everything, which I think is a good stance. They mentioned that they often take more creative liberties with gods that have a less established core look, such as Kronos, Giannis, and Scylla, compared to something like Guan Yu, who has many iterations that all look similar in various media, and breaking from that would feel like it wasn't really Guan. Whereas gods like Kronos that don't appear as much, they can take more creative freedom and make something very unique. Someone mentioned community concept art making it into the game, and they basically said they're always open to that and will reach out to community members if they see something they really like and want to add it to the game. And finally, they mentioned a WWE crossover that almost happened back in Smite 1, but they had trouble licensing it and getting things approved, but they said they're open to doing it in Smite 2 if the opportunity presents itself. But that's everything discussed on Titan Talk for today. A large portion of the talk was dedicated to the God roadmap, so there wasn't as much time for questions, but still some interesting ones. And we have Barry's kit reveal with Pawn on the show for Monday's talk, so that should be exciting. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already to catch my coverage of Barry, and I'll catch you guys in another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.